Hi everyone. I wanted to take the time to do a ISS video on showing how uh, you can actually do some funny things with your own computer, because supposedly this is a tracker, and this actually came by my way because I fix computers, and a lot of times when you reformat a hard drive and reinstall Windows, the BIOS changes the time or something, and it's in a different date, and I would go in here and check out the live ISS stream, and then I would notice something really strange. So the idea is nothing really difficult. All you got to do is go to the time and date settings and just click change date. Now what we're going to do here is we're live. I mean, I can go to, you know, privacy and stuff. I can see a bunch of things that are, it's live. I mean, I'm not doing this because it's a video that I recorded on top or anything. But again, back to the date and time. We go to February. I mean, we can go. Let's go to, I don't know, September 15th. We changed it, so you can see automatically that the tracker that is supposed to be tracking the ISS automatically changes. The thing is that if it really was a tracker, you wouldn't have to do this. You wouldn't be able to do this. Now, you can actually go into the future also. Let's go into 2020 or 2019. Let's go to July 19th or something. I don't know. And there it is. It changes. Now, like I said, anybody can do this, and it's not really hard to do, but if you're able to change the tracking system from your computer, it's not really tracking the ISS, so it's kind of just there for entertainment. Now we can go back, 2010, and we can fiddle around with it all day, and there it is. It changes. And don't take my word for it, just go to the ISS stream yourself. I mean, it's right there. I'll post the link in the bottom description, and this happens to all the trackers that the ISS has. I don't want to go into doing a whole bunch. I want to do some more things today with this, and there it is. So change the time and date, and then don't forget to go back to your date, your current date, because you can get some funky internet connections and be disconnected and not be able to go online and stuff. So now for this next part, I want to show the flight path of the ISS over the Earth. One of the things that you notice is that there is also ice at the top and there's ice at the bottom. And what people do is that they present a lot of pictures saying that, the ISS has gone over the South Pole and the North Pole, and we get hit with stuff like, from this website here, we get this picture. People in the forums and the groups tell us that this is the ISS going over the South Pole, and I go into explanation of why not, but they just don't understand. Not even in the live feed does it go over it, and even in the question in space exploration and the stackexchange.com, why doesn't the ISS pass over the polar regions? This is the question that somebody's asked, and a lot of people know this, and it says the ISS orbits west to east, covering almost part of the land on the Earth, but excludes the polar regions. Why was this orbit chosen? But then we get people who tell us that they do go over the South Pole, and this is the picture, this is the proof. Now, that's where it just comes to me, and I just have to explain the stuff, and they just don't understand either. Now, when we go back to the live animation here, the path that it takes, people fail to, instead of making fun of people for saying, oh, the earth is flat, you're dumb, and all the bombardments, that come with it. If you've been in the debates or any part of it, you've probably seen it. People fail to just sit down and compare both models and see which one makes more sense. Now, that's what I do with my diagrams. If you have not seen it, this is what they look like. And what I did was I copied this image here, and you can see the ISS is just a little bit behind here because it was just a few minutes ago. And what I do is I plot the points and compare it. Well, what does this look like on a flat Earth map? Now, what I did was I put a dot below New Zealand, and then I put a dot in between here in the area, and the right above Spain in this area, and then I put another dot above Florida and another dot above Mexico. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can see it. Now, what this does is that if you follow my mouse, it makes like a half circle. And I also have made a ellipses to follow it. And this ellipses is a little bit more accurate with this line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this layer, and this is what the path looks like. Now, another thing that is pretty strange with the rocket launches that NASA does is that they do not go straight up. Alright? If you've ever seen a NASA launch or anything, they do not go straight up, and they curve. And what really makes more sense is that this curve angle makes more sense on this, because if here's Florida, most of the launches do happen in Florida, and you can see that it curves right here and it goes parallel to the ground. Another thing that I want to show is that this path, it changes quite often. So right here we have a date of the December 17th, and right here we have the date of the January 6, 2016. The path changes quite so often, so it's from here. 1 month later it changes, and then 1 month later it's up here. The path follows a spiral pattern which looks like this. I have reasons to understand that this is a sacred geometric shape because there is a lot of extensive research into this, and this is my collection of just a little bit of ones that I wanted to talk about with this video, because this is what is shown. Now, a lot of people don't understand what the compass would actually look like on a flat Earth map. Overhead is actually how it happens. The compass has been around for quite some time now. Now, this is the new correct map of the flat surface stationary Earth, and this is a very old image. The spiral patterns actually happen because of the fact that magnetic north is actually what everything slingshots around. Now, when you look at this diagram here, when you follow the compass, you're actually making this circle around the Earth. Now, when you see the path that the ISS makes, you can see how that can show that something is slingshotting around and with time it's moving in this sort of pattern. Now there's a lot of geometric shapes that we see here that are the sacred geometric shapes that are shown. An interesting one that I want to show with the video is this wave here. This is the same wave that we see here in the actual tracker system. And we also have a lot of different shapes and how it will go around the magnetic north, as I've shown in the pictures. And these shapes take the form in nature. So when you see this, they're using the same geometric mathematical equations to fly around the earth. Now we see the snail, we see the hurricanes, we see the galaxies, we also see the sound images. Sound is very important in this. This is actually a different topic I want to cover on another kind of video, because if I go into this it'll probably go into a much longer video. I want to keep this as short as possible. The geometric shapes take a lot of common sense into all of this. Now it also comes into play into the deoxyribonucleic acid double helix, which is considered to be one of the most incredible finds in the past century of science, and that is the DNA. The DNA, and we can see here everything that is put together with geometry. We have the human body and the DNA strand, and we even have the shape of the spiral here into the fetus, into the plants, even into the brain itself. Plants growing, seashells, again, even the zodiac. We have snowflakes that follow the patterns. And here we have the yin-yang. We have the number scale. We have Tesla. We have, again, the ISS pattern on the tracker. Also, we have a interesting one that I wanted to show. I was able to catch this one time. It was pointing at the sun, and the glare would make a cross here. It actually did that for hours, and it looks just like the light of the heavens with the cross on it, with the glare. It's very interesting. This was done live. I put this on Christmas time when I was looking at a bunch of this stuff, and we have the numbers. But that'll be in the future. Something else I'll be able to talk about. And to recap, the magnetic north spiral movement that has changed, as you've shown, and it moves into this area in the future, and it ranges in this area. like in this side of the world. Another thing that I want to mention is that the curvature of the launches not only goes hand in hand with, with going parallel to the ground, but an also very evident, observable, notable fact that this orbit height is 250 miles, and it changes from 250 to 275. I've seen it change a lot. And the exosphere is 500 kilometers, and the exosphere is known to be the exosphere is the outermost layer of the Earth's atmosphere. And if I take my converter calculator, I get 500 kilometers translated to miles. The ISS has never gone past the Earth's atmosphere. So when people tell me that the ISS is in outer space, I tell them no, you're wrong. But they don't understand that. And now I have to do more explanations, and now the good thing is that I'm making a video now so people can see it and they can do this themselves. It's not really hard. The exosphere tells you right here, this is straight from Google. And the ISS is 249 miles. Something else I want to point out is the actual Twitter accounts of some of the astronauts on these stations. I usually come in here and look at some of the photographs to see all the CGI that they use. And for instance, this is one just a few hours ago, and this is actually yesterday. Go ahead and do this one first, and we have this one. And we're going to go ahead and do something really quick. And there's various tests that you can do, but this is a very simple one. We're going to open it up, go to photo, and do some basic adjustments. And we're just going to get the brightness out and the tone. And it comes into a very strange effect on the image. On real images, it doesn't do this. An example of that would be the 0 to infinity balloon launch. Whoops. It didn't load up. Gotta close that screen. And there it is. We're gonna do the same adjustment for the same thing, and there's no separation of the black in this image. In this image it's done really heavily. Now to the other one, this one looks really strange to me, just not even looking at it, just knowing what it's going to do. And it's completely missing it does this pretty funny to me, actually. Now to the other few images is another one where you can see that the stars are visible behind the atmosphere. Now there's a whole bunch of stars here, and we don't see that in the actual live footage. What we can do is, if I can catch it really quick, this is a few hours ago. No, we didn't catch it, but you can see that in the other images where you can see the stars in the darkness. In the stream account here, you don't actually see that. Now, when you come in closer and you don't have to zoom in, you can just see here, this is a complete blur tool here. You can see the separation. This is sharper and this is blur. This is a straight line here. And a lot of other funny things that go on with the stars here too. And there's a line of constellation there, there's a line of constellation there. Looks like this one is flipped and smaller. And what I did to confirm that was I did a copy rotation move, and it shows that these squares look like they have been copied, and the detection result is, yeah, there's definitely something going on here. Another image I want to bring to the attention would be this one, and again compare it to what is being seen here, but it cut out. Oh well. Now we can just go ahead and close that, I guess, and move on to something else. The other thing I want to bring out to people's attention is the fact that the shape of the universe has been confirmed to be flat by NASA.gov themselves. Now what I did was I did a simple Control F and then flat everything that's in this page of the word flat, and you can see that this is the infinite universe, and it says that the shape of the universe, the simplest version of the inflationary theory, is an extension of the Big Bang theory. This also predicts that the density of the universe is very close to the critical density, and that the geometry of the universe is flat, like a sheet of paper. Now, you can see here that they make a diagram of what it looks like, and you're looking at the bottom one here. And the recent measurements in 2001, it was known or hypothesized to be flat within 15% accuracy. Now in 2013, we know of 2013, that's 3 years ago, that the universe is flat with a 0.4% margin of error. This suggests that the universe is infinite in extent. Now, another source would be Wikipedia that says the same thing, and it says shape, universe, shape, flat with 0.4% margin of error. And also I did a flat search on this shape, and goes through a little bit more detail on that website. Now you can go ahead and look at these links. It's public information, it's out there. I'll put them below. And I will now go to another documentation that is out there. It's also disclosed to the public. Now this is the definition of a linear aircraft model, and we can go to the pages that I've shown in the other videos that I have, and it says here that the definition of a linear aircraft model for a rigid aircraft of constant mass flying over a flat non-rotating Earth. Sorry about that. Over a flat non-rotating Earth. I have a few sheets showing which pages they are in. Here's page 36, and it says that the same thing: aircraft of constant mass flying in a stationary atmosphere over a flat non-rotating Earth. Now that's the concluding remark. Now the other one, it's going down towards the bottom. This is the report documentation page. This is the abstract. This report documents the derivation and definition of a linear aircraft model and a rigid aircraft of constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth, and this derivation makes no assumptions. So it's out there. and it's been since 1988. And just like the other videos, it's there for everybody to download. So now we have an actual documentation showing a flat, non-rotating Earth, and then we have the shape of the universe being flat with only a 0.4% margin of error. And again, here's the NASA launches. And here we have the flight path that kind of makes a little bit more sense. And the people who tell us that the ISS has gone over the South Pole, it's not true. People, just do your own research, and again, everything will be provided in the description, all the links. The comments will be open so people can comment and debate. I don't deny anybody. So have a good day, guys.
Trouble in space this morning as the International Space Crew attempted a spacewalk outside the station. Here's a live look at the astronauts. Well, I don't believe... I don't think
those are astronauts.
Yeah.
Where's their spacesuit?